Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at the 10 worst workers in the world. So most of us go to work every day, and I'm sure on some days we do a lot of work and on other days we don't. Well, here are some people who clearly do not care about their job. These are some of the worst employees who deserve to be fired. But before you laugh too hard, why not subscribe and press the notification bell, or you're fired. Coming in at number 10 we have Solitaire. So this one was captured a few years back in India. So today many people have stopped using the mail and instead use email or social media. But in India the Indian mail service is massive. And any Indians will know that it's almost a joke how busy the Indian postal service can sometimes be. There are often massive lines at every post office in India. But looking at this image I can kind of see why. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of people waiting in line here. And they don't exactly look happy either, probably because they've been waiting for hours. But if you look down, you'll see the woman who's supposed to be serving them is playing solitaire. Most people play online solitaire to kill time, but this woman literally has a job to do but instead is playing cards online. I'm guessing her co-worker saw this and decided to take a picture. I have to say, this woman doesn't have a care in the world. Just imagine making a bunch of people wait in line while you play a card game. Next up is go back to school. So when it comes to people working at a school, you'd assume they'd be smarter than the kids going there, right? Well, this image totally disproves that. We all know that to encourage safer driving, there are signs saying school outside of schools. These are usually painted on the road and are very common. But one day a new school sign was painted on the road. The painters put it on and left, but when they were done, people were outraged. As you can see, everyone face-palmed as it said "skahol" instead of school. Now, I'd assume the school was very annoyed by this as it doesn't exactly make them look very smart. But the parents were also pretty mad, as you wouldn't really want to send your kids to a school that can't even spell school. The only people who found this funny were probably the kids who went there. Whoever painted this really does need to go back to school. Do you guys think this is an honest mistake, or are the people who did this really that dumb? One thing's for sure, these people clearly do not care about their job. Next up is geography. So, being a fashion designer is a pretty big deal. It's an incredibly tough industry to get into. But if you do manage to become a fashion designer for a clothing store, then that's a big responsibility. But judging by this t-shirt, this person clearly doesn't care about their job. If you haven't worked out what's wrong with this t-shirt yet, then you need to go back to school with that painter. Clearly this t-shirt says Asia, but anyone who's ever seen a map before will recognize that that is Africa, not Asia. Seriously, whoever designed that needs a solid geography lesson. Next up is uncomfortable position. Have you ever got yourself into a very uncomfortable position? Maybe it was while doing yoga or stretching. Or perhaps it was in your sleep. Well, one day a large billboard advert was put up, and the woman looks like she's in a very uncomfortable position. You may be wondering, is this a magic trick gone wrong? Well no, instead the people who put this advert up simply put the photos up in the wrong position. All they need to do is switch the images. But this is a pretty dumb and hilarious mistake. And it's also a big mistake, literally. Just imagine seeing this on the street, it would make me not want to buy the product. Next up is named and shamed. So whether you agree with it or not, if you commit a crime it will likely make the newspapers and you'll be named and shamed. Well, one day on an American news station they tried to do just that. As you can see, there was a dentist assault. Wow, I really want to know the story behind that. But anyway, as you can see, they included a mugshot of the suspect. And they also included his name, but as you can see, somebody in the graphics department made a mistake. Instead of writing the guy's name, they left it as the default first name, last name. Unless that's this guy's real name, in which case I feel bad for the guy. But I'm 99% sure this was a big mistake by the graphics guy. Seeing as this went viral, it seems like that guy might have lost his job. But this guy is probably the luckiest criminal ever, as he was shamed but not named. Next up is pointless barrier. So we all know that one of the worst things about parking lots is those big barriers. Sometimes they don't work and then you're stuck in the parking lot, unable to get out. Now, if you look at some of this image, it appears this is one of those barriers. But when you check out the full image, you'll see that this is totally pointless. Quite clearly, this barrier is not stopping anyone. I assume nobody bothers to get their ticket validated as a bus could get through here. This has got to be one of the funniest design fails I have ever seen. It really makes me wonder how many people actually buy a parking ticket if this is the barrier. Next up is irony cookie. So, do you guys like fortune cookies? For many people, it's their favorite part of getting a Chinese meal. You open up the fortune cookie and inside is supposedly a fortune for you. Now, some people make fun of these and say it's all a bunch of rubbish. And by the looks of this fortune cookie, that's pretty much accurate. As you can see, somebody got a fortune cookie, but the fortune was outside the cookie. But here's the kicker. On the paper it said, the job is well done. I've never seen anything so ironic, as the job clearly wasn't well done here. I really don't trust fortune cookies after this. How ironic is it that it says the job is well done, but really it's far from well done. The whole point is you're supposed to break open your cookie to get your fortune, but here you don't even have to unwrap it. If you guys have ever seen anything as ironic as this before, then let me know in the comments. Next up is mixed messages. Have you ever had somebody send you mixed messages? Maybe they're saying they like you, but they're not acting like it. Well, this just goes to show that inanimate objects can also send mixed messages. If you look at the top of this door, it says do not enter. Pretty simple, right? But then look down and it says enter only. I never thought entry and no entry signs could be so complicated. The whole point of them is to be super simple, but these guys managed to break this system. I can just imagine a whole line of confused old ladies trying to decide whether to go in or not. Next up is make it fit. So this one was taken in the USA, and if there's anything we know about the USA, it's that the USA loves getting things delivered from Amazon. Did you know that 70% of US households pay for Amazon Prime to get next day delivery? And recently Amazon has been experimenting with new delivery methods. These include using drones, putting things inside your house, and putting things inside your car. Well, here's one different mailman who's trying a different method of delivering Amazon packages. As you can see, this guy will do anything necessary to get your package to you, even destroy it. Let's just hope this guy didn't order any fine china. Would you guys be mad if your Amazon package was delivered like this? One thing's for sure, this mailman couldn't care less. Next up is third eye. So when you're making products, you have a big responsibility. But when you're making products for kids, that responsibility gets even bigger. That is because kids are very impressionable and can be scared very easily. Most of the time, dolls are very cute and kids love to play with them. But check out this doll and try not to have nightmares. You may think this is one of Pablo Picasso's paintings, but no, this is a kid's toy. People complain about Barbies giving girls unrealistic beauty expectations. But I don't think any girl in the world looks like this. And if you do, then I sincerely apologize. Anyway, one toy manufacturer actually made this doll and sold it in stores. Can you imagine owning a store and putting this up on the shelf? I really don't know what these people are thinking. I'm not sure what's scarier, this doll's face or her hairline. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the person who doesn't care about their job the most. I think it's gonna be the solitaire postal woman, as that really did make me laugh. But if I was in line, I'd probably be very mad. If you guys want more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what you're waiting for, subscribe to Top 10s.